Thinking of moving to Delaware and just not sure if it's a good fit? The truth is, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but I'll go over the top 5 pros and cons of living in Delaware, and some of them just might surprise you. So stick around to the end to see them all, but what I can promise you is at the end of this video, you'll know whether or not Delaware is the right fit for you or not. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Brandon Windom. I'm a local real estate agent here in Delaware, and I help people buy and sell homes in Delaware. I've lived here my entire life, and on this channel, you'll find everything related to living in Delaware. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in Delaware, I'll leave all my contact info in the description below, and I'll actually throw it here on screen for you. I would love to have a conversation and potentially talk about working together if it made sense. So let's jump right into it. So pro number 5 is Delaware is small. It's only 96 miles long from the very top to the very bottom. Now you might be saying, Brandon, how is that good? Well, it's actually pretty great because nothing is really far away. You can start your day in Wilmington in the city, and then you can take a short drive and get down to the beach and enjoy some mimosas on the water. Number 4 is there's plenty of outdoor activities in Delaware, whether it's hiking, canoeing. We have plenty of state parks all throughout the state if you like hiking. Or if you're more of a fisherman, we're a coastal state, so we have rivers, bays, and of course, the Atlantic Ocean. And that's not all. We got fantastic golf courses, camping, kayaking. Shoot, even if you like bird watching, we got you covered down at Bombay Hook, the National Wildlife Refuge. Number 3 is beaches, beaches, beaches. You know you can't talk about Delaware without talking about the beaches. I think it's actually illegal. Delaware is home to several award-winning beaches, such as Rehoboth Beach, which has been named one of the best beaches by several publications. Or you can head on down to Bethany, and that's been named one of the cleanest beaches in the country by the National Resource Defense Council. And also, you can't forget about Dewey if you like the nightlife. And honestly, that's not even all of them. There's some small gems out there, such as Fenwick Island and Cape Henlopen. They have a little bit smaller oceanside and bayside beaches. Number 2 is the great location. Delaware is close to so many major cities. You can get to Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York, New Jersey, and even Washington, D.C. in just an hour or so. So what I like to say is Delaware is a great home base or a base of operations. The reason why I say that is that you can go to all these bigger cities and enjoy their amenities there, and then you can drive right back to Delaware, so you get all the pros of being in the big city without any of the drawbacks. So the number 1 pro is low taxes, and this is kind of a 2-for-1 special. So what I mean by that is, first, that we have insanely low property tax here in Delaware. And just to give you some perspective, the average homeowner in Delaware for property tax only pays $1,500 a year. And yes, you heard that right. I said $1,500 a year, not monthly, not quarterly, a year. And the second part is there's no state tax in Delaware. So what I mean by that is that when you go and pick up something that is $2 and you go to the register, you're going to pay $2, not $2.03, not $2.15, not $2.58. Sorry if I got a little emotional there. I'm kind of spoiled. Being from Delaware my whole life, it really grinds my gears when I go to other states and then I go to the register and I pick up something that's $5 and they tell me it's $5.05 or $5.10. It's just a little bit of a PTSD for me. Now that I've told you all the great stuff, let's hop into the cons. Number 5 is the limited social scene and nightlife. If you're someone who's very social or into the nightlife and you come from a bigger city, you're gonna be sorely disappointed when you come to Delaware. There's not many options when it comes to the nightlife and the social scene here in Delaware. You have some, in Wilmington into the city part of Delaware, and then you can head on down to the beach to some of those bars and everything down there. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Number 4 is lack of options and culinary diversity. And this right here, it hurts to say it because this is a big one for me. I'm a foodie. I love a good meal. But the lack of options in Delaware would make my OG Gordon Ramsay throw a plate at somebody. It's definitely getting better as Delaware grows. Small win, we actually did just get a Korean barbecue place. But it's a far cry from some of the other big cities where you have tons of options, tons of different culinary cuisines from different cultures, and honestly, different dining experiences in general. Number 3 is the limited public transportation. I know earlier I said Delaware is small, but it is not very walkable. You are not going to be taking the Shoelace Express around Delaware. So that being said, the public transportation is severely lacking. It doesn't have very many routes and it's not very reliable. So the bottom line, here in Delaware, you're definitely going to need a vehicle to get around. Number 2 is the traffic. I absolutely despise traffic. But for the most part, in Delaware, the commute times aren't very bad. But in some part of the states, especially during peak times, it can get very bad, especially with a lot of people who commute that live in Delaware and work elsewhere. And during beach season, the beach traffic can be downright diabolical. Almost to the point to where as though if you don't leave early enough, you might as well just turn around and call it a day. And the number one con is that Delaware is growing. But with that comes the good and the bad. With more development, more people, more everything, some of the things that made people relocate to Delaware are kind of going away, such as that small town charm and that laid back atmosphere that people know and love in Delaware. And because of that growth, we're seeing higher home demand, and because of that means higher home prices. And because of more people relocating here and businesses coming here, it puts more of a strain on the infrastructure. And because of that, we're seeing reassessments, tax increases, property tax increases, so that the state can get the money it needs to restructure that infrastructure to make it better for everyone. So now that you know some of the pros and cons of living in Delaware, if you have any questions or if you just like to know more about Delaware, feel free to reach out. Like I said, my info will be in the description. And be sure to stay tuned to the channel for everything related to living in Delaware. Thanks.